Hey guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to share my thoughts during what I hope will be a relatively quick review of the latest launch from Kjaer Weis in the color Complexion range of products that they do, the Beautiful Tint. This will be joining their other two color Complexion products, their liquid foundation and their cream foundation, which was the first Complexion product that they did. Now, I am a huge Kjaer Weis lover. I have loved these products for many years. The brand has been, I had been going on a deep dive actually of Kirsten Kjaer Weis's content, and I believe they started in 2010, maybe even 2007. I can't quite remember. I remember them from my early days of eco beauty, and I've been trying products on and off since I came into green beauty, namely the foundation and the powder eyeshadows and the eyeliners, and now I kind of have lots of things from Kjaer Weis in my collection. I've really been loving the liquid foundation over the last year and a half, and so it's kind of a no-brainer that I wanted to pick up and try their skin tint. Now I have to tell you off the bat, I think I may be one of the lone dissenters in that this is not my favorite product. This is probably my least favorite Complexion product of these three. And most of the reviews that I've seen of this, or other people that I've talked to who have been testing and using this product, have really liked it and found ways to get it to work for their skin. I am going to be applying it and show you what it looks like on. I have some eye makeup on, obviously, but I have absolutely nothing on my skin. I have bare skin, so I'm going to show you how I apply this and give you my thoughts. So I went for the shade F4 in this product. The shade stuff with this is kind of confusing. This is what F4 looks like. If I were to have matched my shade in this, and I've even started debating whether or not I actually am the shade Paper Thin, but I have Paper Thin in the liquid foundation as well as the cream foundation. I consider myself to have fair skin with neutral to cool undertones, but complexion matching is always a little bit difficult. I do think that in general, it's better to go a little bit darker than lighter, and I have heard Kirsten Kjaer Weis say this actually in interviews that she's given. Especially a product like this, a skin tint, I feel like the colors are a little bit more flexible. There's probably 2 to 3 shades that everybody could use. So F5 would have been the match to Paper Thin, but I ended up going for F4, which I think is fair with neutral undertones. F5 I think is fair with cool undertones. F3 fair with golden, I think. But I think honestly F3, F4, or F5 all would have worked for me personally. This product retails for $45. You get 1.35 fluid ounces. It's a little bit different from the rest of Kjaer Weis's products in that, well, I guess this as well. These are not refillable the way, for example, the compact products are, or the mascara, things like that. So there's no refillable component to this, and much to my pleasure, this does not have SPF in it. I know some people really want a tinted moisturizer with SPF. I'm one of those people that does not. The ingredients in this I am relatively satisfied with. I do not like that it has hyaluronic acid in it. See my Oyo Lab Beauty Heroes review and why I avoid hyaluronic acid in skincare and makeup. But the nice thing about Kjaer Weis is that they're made in Italy, which I like, and they essentially private label with a lab manufacturer that has been in the eco space for a really long time. The ingredients are organic. I think almost all organic. I'm not sure if they're 100% organic, but they use organic ingredients, which is rare. There's really not that many makeup brands that are using organic ingredients. Kjaer Weis and Manasi 7 are the two that jump to mind. So to me, that's a big boon, especially for a complexion product. Now let's get started applying it, and I'll continue to tell you what my experience has been like using this over, I guess it's been 3-ish weeks, maybe going on a month. And I've been reaching for it maybe 2 to 3 times a week. I've tried varied application methods. And yeah, I do think that this product benefits from having primed skin. So that's what I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna do a few drops of the Le Prunier Plum Beauty Oil. This came in a Beauty Heroes limited edition box. I think this makes a perfectly fine primer. I'm slightly agnostic on this oil. Some people absolutely love it. I am okay with it. A few others that I reach for really regularly are from La Par. I really like Elastic Love and the Precious Face Elixir. And then if you're more of a cream person, I don't really use face creams. I'm more of an oil person. The African Botanics Silver Rescue Cream is in this month's Boxwalla box, and this I think would also make a very nice primer. You wouldn't think that you would need a primer for a tinted moisturizer, but I think you do with this product. Now, please know that I have quite normal skin. I do not have dry skin, okay? I used to in the past, but those days have been long gone for many years. And my skin is normal for the most part. Maybe a slight tendency towards some dehydration here, but that's really it. I have not had issues with complexion products. You know, I don't have any issues with this or the cream foundation showing any kind of texture or dryness on my skin. So you can kind of see where I'm probably going with this. But I do think prepping the skin with a bit of oil, a bit of moisturizer, you know, if you're a Kjaer Weis adherent, you could do their primer underneath this, which I have tried and I am personally not the biggest fan of, or the Kjaer Weis Beautiful Oil as well would be another option. So I would say make sure you have nicely primed, prepped skin. Now the thing to know about this is you have to work quickly. I find that it dries down to a matte really quick, like way faster than a tinted moisturizer should. So I'm gonna go in and just show you how I apply. I do 1 pump to start, and I just go in really kind of rough and tumble and try and get it on my skin fast, okay? Because as you're blending this in, it's starting to dry down and mattify. And I would say with the oil underneath, priming it, you do get a little more time to work with it, and you are gonna get a bit of a glowier type of effect versus if you're just applying it after your skincare has been done for a while or you use mattifying type of skincare, you're gonna get a more matte type of application. So that's one layer of the Beautiful Tint. I'm filming with my ring light on because it's been very, very rainy here and cloudy and rainy here in Kentucky for the last week or so. So I do have to use my ring light. I apologize. Now my issue with this is that even though I feel like I'm blending in well, I'm always detecting places on my skin that it's not blending. I find that it's this weird formula that's very kind of like sticks and grabs to the skin. And even with this oil primer underneath, I'm still getting it grabbing in certain places. So I'm gonna get a little bit closer and see if you can see. All right, I went ahead and took the ring light off to see if that would help a bit up close, but I feel like I can notice it here. I can notice it kind of grabbing in the pores down here and then kind of around my nose as well. So here's what it looks like with no ring light on. So you can see that the coverage is also very minimal. That's why I feel like I slightly prefer, or not even slightly, I feel like I do prefer this because the coverage is a little bit better. All right, ring light is back on just because I think it's really too dark without it on. So you could go in and do multiple layers of this. In my opinion, that kind of defeats the purpose of what a product like this is supposed to do, but I'm gonna do another kind of light layer here where I feel like I need the most coverage. Now, I have also tried applying this with a brush, which is sort of the most recommended way that I see people talking about this product. The finger application, I think, has proved to be problematic for a lot of people, but buffing it in with a foundation brush is meant to give you more of the kind of perfected, locked in glass skin type of look. I have tried that and it personally like doesn't work for me. I don't know why. I've never really liked applying liquid products with a brush. With cream products, I feel like I can buff them in a little bit better with a foundation brush. It may depend on the brush, the density of your brush. There's just a lot of variables, but I personally was not a fan of blending this in with a brush. You could also do a beauty blender. I personally don't use a beauty blender anymore. I have 2 kids under 5 and I just do not have time on any sort of regular basis to wet a beauty blender and use it and then keep it away from my kids destroying it. So it's just not practical. I do enjoy a finger application and then buffing in with a brush when needed. This I can do solely as a finger blend in application. I find it very easy to use. And I'm actually gonna go in over top of this because I obviously feel like I need a little bit more coverage with the Kjaer Weis Cream Foundation. I'm gonna use this as a concealer. Now the other big pros I think to this are that it's very lightweight on the skin. So it feels lighter on the skin than the liquid foundation. And I do find it to be quite sweat resistant. So it's nice for the spring and summertime if you're out and about and sweating, basically like out in hot weather. I have had good success with it not wearing off on the skin throughout very long, hot 90 to 95 degree days. But I just find myself honestly not reaching for it. And with such limited time, I really kind of need a one and done type of product, which is why I just think if I had to choose, I would still go for the liquid foundation because I find this to be light to medium, buildable coverage. It's easier to work with. I feel like it makes my skin look better. It's a little bit dewier. This is more matte. I just honestly, at the end of the day, think that tinted moisturizer is a misnomer for this because it's a kind of a satin matte finish. And in my opinion, or in my experience, tinted moisturizers don't really have satin matte finishes. I mean, it's okay, right? I guess skin tint is more of an appropriate name rather than tinted moisturizer. I do also think that they're trying to kind of straddle the skincare makeup line by having this have basically be a skincare product that's going to purportedly improve the condition of your skin over time. That I can't really attest to, at least not right now. I will continue to use this and interchange it in and out. I'll be curious to see how my fall and winter skin fares with this because I find that I like the different formulas at different times of year. Oddly, I like the cream foundation better in fall and winter than in summer. And I like the liquid foundation better in spring and summer. And this I'm still sort of undecided on. I'm gonna quickly put a little bit of other makeup on my face and then I'll come in to give some closing thoughts. Okay, so there's the skin tint with just a little bit of basic makeup over top of it so you can see sort of what the coverage looks like. A combination of the cream foundation and the Beautiful Tint. It's just so odd to me that I know people that have dry skin, like actually dry skin, and they like this product. And I don't have dry skin. I don't have issues with any other complexion products, and I feel like this makes my skin look dry. So I think it could just be that I prefer a glowier, dewier base. That's my preference. This will definitely yield that, and in my opinion is a little bit more bang for your buck. However, it is the difference between a skin tint / tinted moisturizer and an actual light to medium coverage foundation. The cream foundation I think is great because it can also double as a concealer depending on your shade. And you know, I enjoy having all three, but this has been a bigger hit for me than this. I always order all of my Kjaer Weis directly from the Kjaer Weis website. I, for the most part, have really cut out shopping from boutiques, with rare exception like Beauty Heroes and Beauty Habit and Boxwalla are really the three that I will still order from sometimes. But I like to order a lot of my Kjaer Weis directly from them. I do know though that you can order from Credo, and they do have a return policy in case you want to try it out, and it is returnable, whereas to Kjaer Weis directly, it's not returnable if you have tried it. So I think that's what I have to say about this one. Unfortunately, not the biggest rave for me. I think it can be worth trying if you really like complexion products, but I personally was not overly impressed. Let me know what you think in the comments if you've had a different experience. I know that a lot of people just like to give tips and tricks about application, and I do think that sometimes that can help, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's just a formula agreeing or not agreeing with our skin. I'll definitely be trying through the seasons, and my opinion could very well change. But after a month of testing, this is where I stand. I hope you enjoyed this. I tried to be more concise than usual. I have other great videos planned for the month, so please do subscribe to L'Amour. Come see what I'm up to on Patreon, patreon.com/LamourLaMusique. I do a lot of exclusive full-length work over there, and I invest a lot of time over there. It's how I'm able to keep putting out podcasts and videos and lots of other projects that I'm working on. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.